We are in day 4 of 9 days of fasting. Yeah, we are here visiting one of my favorite trees. Okay, live on campus. Actually, one of my favorite 2 trees. I done developed a certain liking for these smaller trees. These are ginkgo biloba trees, ginkgo trees, also toxic trees. Okay, I have my snake out here with me today. Yup, representing opening spiritual portals, and that's what begins to happen on day 4. Day 4, I feel like the portals start to open. Okay, how many of you been fasting? How many of you have been enjoying the beauty of fasting? Okay, enjoying the beauty of tapping into your willpower once again. You know, you could treat your willpower like a muscle. Okay, peace and power, friend. You can treat your willpower like a muscle. Okay, treat your willpower like a muscle. It's something that you must practice. It's something that you must exercise. It's something like if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Okay, people I see with zero willpower, and they'll tell you, they'll say things like, "Oh, I can never fast. My willpower isn't that strong." Or I can never do this. My willpower isn't that strong. Or you'll also find a pattern of behavior, a pattern of intent, and also a pattern of behavior. Okay? These two energies um, live side by side each other. Okay, so yeah, we fasting. What is it like on the 4th day of fasting? What is it like on the 4th day of not consuming H2O, not even H3O? What is it like? Well, I begin to feel my body reaching for hydration. You begin to notice that you must be most careful with your energy. Okay, you must be most careful with your energy. Okay, um, you also go through different moments within a day where your energy picks up. Yup, you'll go through different moments in your day where your energy picks up. This is kind of what it represents. So you start off, hold on, let me see. You start off, right, energy rising, then you go through these little dips, right? You go through those little dips, and but your energy begins to wave. Your energy begins to wave as your body begins to reach for hydration. Okay, it also begins to reach for what is normal for your body. Okay, it is normal for some of us. Make sure you get out there and ground too. And I mean, take the socks off when you ground. Okay, take the socks off. Let those feet touch the ground. Clean your feet afterwards. Okay, but yes, as your body begins to reach for things like hydration, you also begin to reach for things like your old habits. Okay, you'll find that on these days, right, after you went through the withholding, right, you withheld in your spirit, you withheld in your body, you withheld yourself from a few things. You're also going to go through withdrawing in your spirit. Okay, withdrawing. Okay, and this withdrawing is going to have you feeling um depleted in ways. You'll start reaching for things. Okay, you know when you're withdrawing, when you're reaching for things. If you find you have sudden urges to want to smoke, to want to drink, right? If you feel like you want to give up, right? If you want to break your fast, but inside the feeling, you will notice that I don't want to break my fast. I just want to do certain things. Then that's how you know you're doing it the right way. That's how you know, okay, you are withholding of your spirit or withdrawing in your spirit, okay? Because the withdrawn energy is going to allow certain things to cast themselves away from you, okay? Certain energies must withdraw themselves from you versus you pulling it off of yourself, if that makes sense. Some things are stronger than you give power to. Some things are really strong, like addictions. Okay, addiction is something that must withdraw from you. That's why people go through withdrawal. If it was easier, you could have been able just to take a thing off you, but you can't. It must withdraw from you. Okay, meaning it must release you. Okay, and through the acts of fasting, okay, which begins at withholding, right? Starving a thing from attention, starving a thing from energy, you'll give it a chance to withdraw from you, okay? As a parasitical nature. Those of you that don't want to smoke or drink anymore, I see you, chat. Those of you that don't want to drink, those of you that don't want to smoke, you don't have to. I want you to know that you're looking at a man who stopped these things a very long time ago. Okay, over several years ago. I don't need to do any of these things. And you don't need to do any of these things either. Okay? The next level of your evolution, you're going to need to be sober. On the next stage of your evolution, you're going to need to be sober. You're returning back unto the little one that you began. Remember when you were younger? You didn't need all these things to be happy. Let me make sure my sneaker's okay. Y'all see it? Remember when you were younger, you didn't need all these things to be happy. Okay? So that's what your body is returning to. Your body is returning to soothing. Remember when you can soothe yourself? Remember when it was okay to be alone? Remember when it was okay when you didn't have all the friends that you needed to have? Remember when it was okay? Okay? Now you're returning to this. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to those of us who've been smoking drink free for so many years. Let's celebrate that energy. Let's celebrate the energy who decided that I don't need to drink, I don't need to smoke. Okay, I don't need to operate in a low frequency for me to be able to enjoy my life. I don't need to be sedated for me to be able to enjoy my life. I don't need to be sedated for me to be able to enjoy my life. I want us to say that to ourselves. Can we say that to ourselves? I don't need to be sedated for me to be able to enjoy my life. This is my life. Okay? This is my life. And I don't need to be sedated to be able to enjoy this. Okay? Yes, you don't need to be sedated. You don't need you don't need things to convince you otherwise. You don't need to be around people that convince you otherwise. Okay? You don't need those things. You don't need those things. So I'm in the fourth day of my fasting and I can feel me becoming thirsty in certain ways. This is my body reaching. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to tap into my own hydration. Okay, we have reserves within our bodies. Okay. We have reserves within our bodies mm, to protect us from we have reserves within our body to protect us from feeling a certain type of way. Yes, we have reserves within our body to protect us from totally dehydrating ourselves. Okay, we have reserves within our body to protect us from becoming totally nutrient deficient. Okay, some of you are in the first, the second, the third day of your fast. Thank y'all for joining us. Okay, thank you for joining us. But nevertheless, on these days, I become thirsty. I'm my thirstiest. So you may see me lick my lips a few times. Okay. You may see me do a few things. Yeah, you may see me do a few things. Okay. So yes, but yeah, all of this is the withdrawing in our spirit. The withdrawing must happen. Okay. A lot of times we begin to reach back. We reach back in our spirit during this time. We may call it relapsing. We may call it backsliding. I want you to know there is no relapsing. There is no relapsing. Okay? There is no relapsing. Okay? Let me go make sure my snake. Let me plug my phone up. Y'all bear with me. Let me make sure Chachi is over. Her name is Chachi too, y'all. Say hi to Chachi. She meditating. She enjoying herself. She enjoying herself, making sure she has my back. That's my snake. That's my snake. Beautiful. I don't need to watch her so much. Okay. So I just wanted to first tap into that, and then I want to go into addiction. Shall I go into addiction? Okay. Let me go ahead and give us a hold on now, they blocking. They blocking certain energies. Hold on now, don't be blocking don't be come on now, algorithm. Don't be blocking certain people. Let me go ahead and add you as a moderator. We went on ahead and added you as a moderator. Now we got moderators now. Okay. So listen, so I want to keep things clear. I'm going to end this live and come right on back. Okay, now that we got a new moderator, okay, now we got new energies. I'm gonna remind anybody new here to subscribe. And yes, perfect timing. Always on timing. Let me go ahead and enjoy the bells with you. The bells are a certain frequency. That's why they removing bells. Bells are a high frequency. Okay. We're gonna talk on addiction next. I just wanted to make sure I keep these lives nice and organized. Okay. So you can tap on, tap off, get the wisdom that you need, get the energy that you need. Okay. And yeah. Nevertheless, I'll be back in a few moments. But until next time, let's get rich.